Yes, my name is Benjamin. I have a question for Kevin because in his presentation there was a question, where is the money? So we know that here most of people work very, very long shifts, like more than maybe 15, 16 hours a day. We have no time to spend with our family because we are looking for money. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the year, we don't see the money where it goes. And here they say that we have a lot of oil and gas. Alberta is the richest province in terms of oil and gas. But we are buying oil here very expensively. So I have your question, your answer right now. It seems that we are on the same page. You understand, because the greedy people who built this system, they don't want us to focus on something good. They want just to keep us in distraction with their instruments, which is the media. But I would like you to suggest or to give us an idea how to get rid of this system. That's my question. Thank you.
Yes, the gentleman back here, and then Erica, and then we'll come back.
Sure. I was just...
The mic's getting over.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh,
and then I'll pass the cake.
oh, okay.
Yeah, my question would be
I'll take 4 questions this round.
how our tax structure here compares to worldwide, like other countries with resource-based economies, or perhaps even different states down in the States who would be, you know, culturally comparable to us, and you know, how that's done, and how we sit overall for resource-based economies in the world, I guess.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'll make sure we get back to Erica and person.
I was just wondering what your opinion was on the capital gains tax. Whether you think that people who make their money from investment should pay at least as much or more tax as those who make it from working.
Right. Right. Yep. All right, so I'm just wondering how many more questions do people have? We might just sandwich them on. Are there? Raise your hands if you feel like asking a question. Okay, let's save it for another round then. Okay, and we'll have Erica back here to come back in. No, no. Okay, let's start here. Okay.
Okay, we've seen 3 excellent presentations there. Lots of numbers to look at, polls. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the corporate media as so far as their journalistic integrity in covering this issue? Where do they stand in your mind? And yeah, I guess that's my question.
Thank you for another round of good questions. I think we'll focus on the issue of how Alberta sits in relation to other resource-based economies, and I'd like to respond by I think pointing to a good example. You could look to Norway as a nation that's done things in a different way, that is managed with an eye to the long term in a way that we could learn from here in Alberta. And I think it's also important to when you're thinking about how things could be done differently, you can look at the tar sands and there's a lot of national ownership in the tar sands. Of course, none of it is Canadian. You know, so one potential option for a way forward that nations around the world are exploring is management through public interest ownership by the state, and that would be an option that would allow Alberta, potentially Canada, to capture some of the benefits that are going to corporations and to apply them to the public good here in the province and across Canada. So I'll keep it brief to give others a chance to respond.
Yeah, these are good questions. Benjamin, how do we get rid of the system? If I tried, Benjamin. But one of the things, I just want to reiterate this. These 2 books that are on the back table, take a handful, everybody. They're free. Leave them, be a guerrilla activist. Leave one in the, you know, the lounge at the local mall, or take them to your friends. Get the word out. All I can do is encourage you to have these conversations. Don't be shy. Be loud. Be proud. You know, be radical, like your poster says. Taxes compared worldwide. There's 2 points I would make. Taxes in general. Canada over the last 25 years has gone from a little bit higher than average tax levels to one of the lowest tax countries in the OECD, Organization of Economic Development and Cooperation and Development. It's about 36 or 38 countries in that. Canada's tax levels are right third or fourth lowest from the bottom, with Singapore and a couple of other places. Canada is a very low tax country, as I think Shannon pointed out. Alberta is the lowest of the low tax. There's tons of room to move up in Alberta. And our royalty system, there was a real reversal on the royalty review panel, the Hunter panel in 2007, if you remember that, which was mostly made up of energy and corporate executives calling for higher royalties. In fact, by the time the political bloodbath was over that, royalties had been reduced in Alberta. We have very low royalty rates. You know, I don't know enough about the capital gains tax to have an informed opinion on that, which probably tells you I don't make a lot of money off of capital, I don't know. And in terms of the corporate media, I think that's a very good question. The corporate media has been largely gutted. Newsrooms at places like the Edmonton Journal have a fraction of the number of staff that they had 28 years ago. And it is tough, and I can tell you that from trying to get factual stories printed. It's tough to get stories printed on the kinds of topics that we're raising today. So that's why the internet and alternate media is so important.
Thank you. I think my colleagues here spoke well about the different taxes, and although our report talks about them, I'm a social worker, so I feel this is my area of expertise. But I do want to say that just about the corporate media pieces, like when we published our social policy framework update, we wrote a op-ed for the journal and, couldn't get it published. And so we try, to get stories out there, and it's becoming increasingly difficult, the things Kevin cited with, they just don't have any reporters to go out and cover things, and it's not a big enough priority for them, so it is disconcerting. And I think Jay gave it a 0.
Yeah, I gave it a 0. Okay. Maybe I was too generous, I don't know.